In light of yesterday's video where I was talking about David Dorn and the tragic situation that happened there, this was another article I pulled. Same time frame, it was actually that day I was doing the video. Let's read a little bit of this, kind of give my thoughts on this. This is from the Examiner. So the post is left-leaning, right? The Examiner is right-leaning. Missouri Attorney General says Soros-backed St. Louis prosecutor released all George Floyd rioters from jail. St. Louis, Missouri released more than 30 rioters arrested during George Floyd demonstrations since Sunday from jail. St. Louis police arrested 36 people between Sunday and Tuesday. That includes 25 who were arrested during riots between Monday and early Tuesday morning when 4 officers were shot. All have been released without charges, according to St. Louis 5 KSDK. The potential charges included misdemeanors and felonies for burglaries, property damage, assault, stealing, and unlawful use of weapon, among others. Missouri Attorney General Eric Schmidt pointed the finger at St. Louis Circuit Attorney Kim Gardner in a Tuesday morning tweet. In a stunning development, our office has learned that every single one of the St. Louis looters and rioters arrested were released back onto the streets by local prosecutor Kim Gardner, Schmidt tweeted. There's his tweet there up on the screen. Schmidt's spokesman added that because many of the alleged offenders had not been charged after 24 hours, police had to release them by law. Gardner's camp pushed back against Schmidt's claim. 2 were released after being issued a summons, 8 were released after prosecutors refused to immediately file charges, and the remainder were released while police apply for charges, police spokeswoman Michelle Woodling said in a statement. Gardner, who recently kicked off her re-election campaign, was criticized during her initial run for circuit attorney for accepting at least $30,000 from a super PAC belonging to controversial liberal billionaire George Soros. He is well known for supporting candidates, specifically city attorneys, who push liberal bail reform and sentencing programs. Riots and looting have been a major issue in St. Louis over the past couple days and have resulted in the death of a 77-year-old black retired police captain, David Dorn. We talked all about him yesterday, so again, follow up to what I said yesterday. Seemed like a great individual, great guy, great all-around citizen, somebody that a lot of young people should seek to have as a role model type individual, or somebody whose life path you should seek to follow, as opposed to some of the individuals who they do follow. David Dorn, who was killed by looters as he tried to defend his friend's pawn shop. All right, again, you know how it is. Every story that we get, it seems like no matter what it is, it's always a division, right? It's always a left versus right thing, no matter what the issue is. And we'll say, you could point at Trump, for instance. Whatever side he comes out on, the other side's going to come out on the other side of it, right? So I don't know that this is really reality. I'm really searching here, but it just seems like there's always 2 distinct camps. But you know what? It's really hard to know how everybody feels about this, or how real normal individuals like you and I feel about this, because all we really hear from is individuals on the political spectrum or social media, like the celebrities and athletes and stuff like that. Like, that's all we really hear about. They don't really ask me how I feel about it, or if I would vote a certain way on whatever particular issue it is. We just hear this noise coming from all over the place, right? And that's why I try to avoid it, because you really have to tune it out. Is this stuff reality? Did this woman really do this with some political aim? Are those individuals, Schmidt, for instance, is he a conservative? Gardner, is she really a liberal? Is there something at play here? Is there going to be some political clash that they have? Are they going to be competing for the same office at some point? Is it this back and forth power struggle within the county or the state itself? How do we really know which side to trust in all of this? That is the problem, right? You get this issue and they tell you, oh, they were just kicked back. They were kicked out of jail. they were kicked free. All of their charges must have been dropped. You hear this sensationalization and you're like, holy shiz, right? What the F is going on over there? You know, and then you hear their spokesman come out on the other side and say, no, this is what's happening. This is what's happening. So it's always so hard to follow. There's always some individual, mostly all individuals involved with any particular thing that happens that have some kind of agenda. So the only thing we can really do is just keep an eye on it, follow up. But you know how it is. Not too many people are going to follow up on this. It's just one random city and a bunch of random people who may or may not have done things, right? So again, that's why I said I avoid social media as much as possible, and I try to avoid politics, like being directly involved in it anyway, because it's always that power struggle, and I think it creates too much negativity among all of us and among the individuals involved. That was my rant for the day, everybody. So take it easy. Let me know what you think about this. Take care, everybody. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.